What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Flailing Forward podcast. This is the podcast where we talk to business professionals and entrepreneurs who are out there taking action, doing the things, sometimes flailing, but constantly moving forward. I'm your host, Dustin Seiler. I am joined today by my guest, Bobby Souza. Bobby is a professional in the analytics and payroll HR department at a SaaS company for the last 15 years. He's built scalable teams, systems, and processes that drive results. In 2022, he made a slight detour without leaving his W-2 and started a full-service short-term rental co-hosting company called Relax Stays that scaled to millions in assets across Florida. He sold that in December of 2025, and he now runs an asset-based real estate wholesale team in Arizona. He is also actively purchasing mobile home parks and RV parks across the U.S. Bobby, you are a busy guy. Thank you for taking time to be here with me today.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. No, excited to chat a little bit and hear more about what's going on. So, you are working full time at a W-2 right now. You're still with your company in payroll processing, but you're also an investor. How is that going for you?
It's busy. It's I am I live and die by my calendar now. I have to. I'm focusing on I work. Um, I have a strong team under me at my W-2, and so a lot of the day-to-day things, I'm usually just putting out fires or being in meetings so I can control my calendar a bit more, and not get
Yeah.
detoured. And so outside of that, I'm very focused on trying to automate and build out systems and handle things that I can do after hours, like early in the morning or late at night. That's how I got started. Even when I first started in real estate on the wholesale side, like how can I do things that wouldn't require me to be by a phone from 9 to 5 to actually make things happen. So I use my skill set to do back end things, lead gen, underwriting, all these things that I could do kind of after hours, if you will. And so I've been able to do that. And then I have two small kids too, and so family is my priority. But I don't know. I it's You just make it work. You
Yeah.
figure out it's hard. It's not a perfect balance by any means, but it is definitely. I know if I just take care of like the family and be there and be present for the family, and then everything else kind of will fall in place as it needs to. I
Yeah.
don't worry about it too much.
Yeah, put the most important things first, and everything else will fall in line there. I love what you said about building out processes and systems and things in order to make sure that everything functions, and you just get to kind of put out the fires day to day. I'm curious, are you using AI in that at all? With all the talk about AI that we hear, are you implementing that in your current job?
Yes, yeah, yeah. In every facet. So in my current job in W-2 that we're doing that and we build that out, right? And it's
Hmm.
more of a large corporate enterprise company. And so it moves a bit slower in how you implement things, security, all these things, but we're implementing those agents to help not only on the customer side, but internal operations as well. Little things, little gains and then on my the real estate side as well. So building out tools to help our acquisitions manager put together LOIs or offers faster,
Okay.
helping automations for dispo. And then on our side, even I actually built. I reviewed it today because we bought an RV park that we ended up. They needed like a lot of them. They didn't have any revenue management or yield management system in
Yeah.
place, and so
Yeah.
they had no dynamic pricing. So I implemented instead of like price labs, which I still might have as and implement something like a price labs. I built out the whole market and understanding of like, hey, let's look at this, let's test out some things and push, some of the glamping sites, tent sites, RV sites from my experience on the short-term side. And now that's completely automated. It actually reviews it. It takes I was checking it today and we actually saw a 20% increase in bookings on the weekends
Wow.
by our revenue by implementing yield management, like revenue management from our the pacing that we see in forward. So it's working and then our blog posts, like I just did the monthly blog post and that's on repeat now.
Yeah.
It took a long time to create it so that it's not like AI slop,
Yeah.
but it's little by little, like these little wins, little nuggets of activities that you can get these like agents to do, and that's what
Yeah.
I've been focused on. building
Man,
out.
what a time saver on all of the back end stuff. I mean, those things that you can set up and automate and let the agent take over, that's saving you a ton of time. Did you run into any issues in getting that set up at all where it just wasn't working, or you ran into something that you just had to overcome in order to get that input, like you said, the AI slop and that kind of stuff?
Yes. Yeah, all the time. I still run into it. It's really I it's the patience around and partly probably because of my background, I'm understanding how these things, because I come from that data background, data analytics, data management, and then how to actually implement the insights that you learn from this data into driving decisions on a business, right? Which
Yeah.
that's what I did for 10 plus years at the company I'm at within the relationship management, working on customer retention, all that. It's like, how do you take this data? How do you analyze it, find the trends, and actually take action on it? And so I think a lot of the things that I'm focused on is like, how am I analyzing and then picking apart this analysis with
Mhm.
AI before I build out that plan and build and iterate. And then it's just pushing through. Like if you're trying to create something quickly and things don't start to work, it gets really frustrating really quick.
Yeah.
And so it's like persisting of, okay, let's take a different angle. Let's go. Like the end goal is to get here. We know we can get here. So we have to figure out a way, like anything else. It's just hard when it's with AI. It's things are so fast that you can get to a result so fast
Yeah.
that become less patient in being able to work around the issues it takes to actually get a good solution that you can like automate. So
Right. Yeah, yeah. Oh, dang, that's a good point, actually. And we see it all the time rolled out where you can tell something is absolutely AI, and it's just people want to get things done so fast, so fast, so fast, and then you lose the quality. Whereas it sounds like what you're saying is if you just take the time to keep working through it until you get to a quality product, going forward, that extra little time is going to serve you dividends instead of just putting out all this crap that turns people off.
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's
that's
so
awesome.
crazy because um we literally can build out a product end to end, or even if you think about features and functionality of like you think about like trying to build an underwriting tool, which is very popular like in we're in real estate, and so everybody can take AI now and say, let me build a fix and flip, not only a calculator or an application to work on, but
Yeah.
automate the process of pulling comps, going and start. But if you try and run that all together at once,
Hmm.
it's too much, and you'll start to get some hallucinations when you go from an end-to-end process that we go through when we underwrite. So you have to harness it around and break it into smaller chunks and just take it one at a time. So let me just take where I can pull data from an offering memorandum and a P&L and
Okay.
and then and rent roll and organize it and then have another agent check to make sure that it's accurate and then move to the next step. So it's like breaking the
Okay.
bits and pieces and taking the wins as you get. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I have an agent that actually can extract and I feel accurate. It's accurate from what it's actually going to pull. That's a win in itself. Then I can move to the next stage of like, let me do market research, feasibility, and break it into its own agent. And so when you can do it like that, it takes more time, but I mean, you're going to have much better results.
Yeah, okay. My mind was just expanded a little bit. And that's my big issue with using AI agents in analyzing properties. I never know if I can trust the results or not because of the hallucinations, the slop. A lot of times AI just tells you what it thinks you want to hear, right? And you have to make sure that you have built-in guardrails to say, don't, I want actual accurate information, not just what you think I'm looking for. But having multiple agents do individual parts of it is and then checking each other's work is so smart. Man,
Yeah, yeah, because it's a fresh context, right? So it's
yeah,
you don't want the agent that just built you something to also check its work because it's gonna think it did a great job.
sure.
It's like I just built this. Of course, I know it's gonna work, and it will skip corners or it'll skip around instead of get a fresh new agent and say, hey, here's my goal, here's what I want you to do. Pick it apart, even like play devil's advocate, go against this, and they've seen the results between like when they go back and forth and have this like devil's advocate or refine like, hey, change
Yeah.
this, and then it refines it, and then hey, I'm gonna check it again, change this. And so like they actually have seen such a great improvement in the accuracy of like what the results can be. But you're right. Like if you one of the biggest things, because I was just talking with somebody, Jamal, who's on our team on the RV park, mobile home park, who was orbiting,
Mm.
but we're talking through pulling market data and pull like understanding when you're analyzing RV parks, mobile home, can we raise the rents?
Yeah.
Right? Like, can you raise it to market? Is it realistic, right? You're not going to just come in and raise rents all of a sudden for every single person that lives there. It's
Right.
like that stuff doesn't actually happen. But sometimes AI will pull in and be like, okay, cool. Like you can raise it 75 bucks per pad or per site. And so it'll just go in and say, all right, and it'll raise it from 60% occupancy to 80. And it's like, all right, what are you basing that off of? And it's like,
Right.
oh, well, it's the national average and it's like it's not even market specific. And
Yeah.
you just have to test it and then it'll say, oh, I'm sorry, you're right. And so it's just funny when you take the time to do it because you're right. It's going to tell you what you want to hear. And
Yeah.
so if you're like, oh, cool, this is a good deal, and you just keep going forward, it's tough to tear it apart when it's
Yeah.
saying you got a good deal in front of you.
Right.
But yeah.
But you have to if you unless you want to get caught in, in a sticky situation. So, I mean, with everything that you've got going on, a young family and a job and everything else, where did you find time to learn AI and how to do all this stuff?
Um, I I started playing around with it little by little. I look at it similar to when I joined and actually got into real estate like 3 years ago,
Uh-huh.
4 years ago. I'm like, man, because I always think about this. I'm starting from nothing, and I get so eager. I'm like, I want to know all the stuff already, and it's like, all right, take it day by day and just and go the little steps every single day and like learn it. And before you know it, you're you're a beast. Like you're one of the best at doing a particular thing,
Yeah.
whether it's underwriting or whether closing, whatever it is, it's because you literally just focus and you surrounded yourselves with people that are better than you. And I
Yeah.
did that in the short-term rental space. I joined a mastermind. I joined an accountability group for people that were crushing it, buying boutique hotels and motels, and I was just like reaching and getting to that level, and it was like the norm to just do
Hmm.
amazing things. And so I surrounded myself by that, and then I realized I try and take a step back and smell the roses of like, oh, it's just like little steps day by day. And so I just take nuggets at a time, and if I have a question or something, maybe it's like right before bed, or I'm walking around the neighborhood, I'm like just brainstorming, and little by little, like I've just kind of developed that. Plus, I have this my background. I think that helps
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, no, that's, oh my gosh, so many great points in there. First off, consistency, just doing a little bit each and every day. I mean, that's how you eat the elephant, right? One bite at a time. So just doing a little bit each and every day, and then surrounding yourself with people who are doing big things, bigger than you're doing, right? In order to stretch you. If you're the biggest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. So, man, just such great points that you made there. And now so your job kind of prepared you for AI, and now you got into investing, and now AI is really helping out with your investing as well. And it all kind of comes together. But are you implementing it more in your RV and mobile home parks, or more in your wholesaling side of things at this point?
Um, yeah, it's actually both. It's equally because and that's what's cool too, because you have these windows open, and because of how fast you can go, if you can context switch and you can kind of think about like, hey, I'm gonna give a goal or a problem that needs to be solved to an AI, not even an agent, but just a chat window, Claude or whatever.
Yeah.
And you give it this thing, because I was doing that earlier today. I'm like, let me finish this blog post automation. I had to fix something. So it gives you recommendations of like, here's my problem, blah, 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 blah. I'm fixing it. And I seeing it build it out. And then I jump over to here and I'm like, let me see how the pricing thing, revenue management, yield management strategy we implemented on June. It was end of June. How's
Mhm.
it doing so far? Do we need to pivot? Do we need to switch? And asking the questions because I know the questions to ask because of my background in the short-term rental like space. So I'm
Right.
asking the right questions, which is another big thing, right? Like understanding your space.
Hmm.
AI is a great it elevates you, but you still need to know the space that you're in, like what to ask, how to like and stress test it and pick it apart because you are so good in your space that you're focused on.
Mm,
You don't want to take it as gospel for whatever it's spitting back to you. You want to be able to understand what it's saying and why it's saying it. And so I'm always giving context. But back to my thing is like I'll run one at both at the same time.
yeah.
And then, so I'm able to kind of work through. So my wholesale business, one of the big things it's harder to do, but automating contracts. And the
Mm,
reason why it's harder is because, in creative deals, every single deal is different. There's always some nuance
yeah.
of something that I have to add into a contract. And it's like, how can I actually automate that? It's difficult. And so I'm trying to get there. And so instead I'm like, let me build some tools that'll make it faster for the team using AI, but not necessarily maybe automate it yet. And so I'm like working through that. But then we can use it to clean up the CRM, make sure there's workflows in place, things like that.
Hmm.
And then the wholesale and then the RV park side, same thing, like a CRM of building out and how do we orbit program, right? How do you get people
Yeah.
that send leads to you? How do you create this funnel or this mechanism that will keep people feeling like, because one of the hardest things for me is keeping up with communication with everybody that's sending
Oh
deals.
yeah.
How do you,
Yeah.
right? It's such a great problem to have,
Sure.
but it was
Yeah.
stressing me out. I'm like, I feel so bad not being able to get back to people in a
Yeah.
timely manner. Um, and so one, bringing somebody onto Orbit to help underwrite was amazing. But then two, uh, how do we create this like where why are people sending deals? They want to get a deal done, but they want to learn. Well,
Hmm.
the good people that are coming in, they want to learn
Yeah.
and like be surrounded by people that are doing it. And so how can I educate them at the same time where it's like even if I can't get back to them, can we create some type of transparency, communication, some type of funnel and automation that will at least let them know we're on it, we're looking at it, or when they send it and we already have it in our system, hey, we already have this in our system and we said no because of X, Y, and Z, because
Hmm.
those reasons are in our little CRM.
Yep.
That is like those little wins. Then they know, okay, cool, let me move on to the next one instead of it sitting. And then 2 weeks later, we're like, oh, we already had this one and we said no. And it's like, well, that would have been cool. You told us 2 weeks earlier. So
Yeah.
like that's some of the things that we're trying to implement is like, how do we just get better at, we have so many, like a lot of leads coming in that we did not, it stressed our process that we had. And so we're like, all right, uh, how do we eliminate or clean that process up?
Right. Oh man, but I love that you guys had a problem, you saw a problem that was brewing, and then you were thinking, how do we fix this? You use technology in order to be able to help you fix it. But at the end of the day, right, that's how everybody grows is you see a problem, you figure out how to overcome it, the company grows. Now you find the next problem, figure out how to overcome it. And that's like the constant rebuilding and growth process. And AI can really accelerate that. It doesn't find the problems for you necessarily. I guess it can if you ask the right questions, but it gives you the opportunity to have multiple little, executive assistants so that you can do so much more in fixing those issues and then growing the company.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, for sure. And I think that's the best thing what you just said because when we join these like challenges and we're so busy with
Yeah.
everything that we're doing. So to join a challenge, it's a lot. It's a big commitment, even if it's a week long, 2 weeks
Right.
long, a month.
Yep.
And it's like to set up the process. I joined like this bird dog challenge last year,
Hmm.
which was amazing. But I did like fix and flips, and I built like a thing that would help make that automate that to the certain point. But
Yep.
like trying to keep up with that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I there's no way I can keep up with it. And then this past when we did this orbit challenge, and we just closed on a park, and I'm like, I have no business joining this challenge, but I'm gonna do it because
Yeah.
I'm like, let's see how our new system is like running and let's see what we can do here because we don't want the funnel to dry up, right? Even though we're buying these assets and it is important to get them up and running, stabilized. That's why I like working with a team
Yep.
because they can handle a lot of those things, but we don't want to stop acquisitions. And
Hmm.
so like keep the funnel going, just keep on and to your point, you're now figuring out the new problems that you need to like solve for that maybe your system or process today doesn't allow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And so now you guys just got two RV parks under contract, right? How's things going? Are you closed or are you under
Closed.
contract with those? Closed.
Yeah,
Okay.
closed. Yep. Yeah, we had
Fantastic.
one. We got the West Texas Park. We got under contract like November, December 2025, and it took like 6 months to close because they're chasing this guy in Texas. Like everybody and their mom has like land and a lease option or something, like they have. And
Yeah.
so we were chasing this guy. He's like 90 years old and he lives in East Texas. And he's like, well, I'll sign it. I'll sign it. 6 months. We thought the deal was like, well, this is not happening. And finally, he signed it. The seller's wife flew out there, got it signed, notarized. We finally closed. We closed that one, uh, June. We
Okay.
closed that one in June, and then the one before that, was one in California, and that we closed in May.
How did the process on that one go from contract to close? Was that smooth or did you run into issues on that one too?
Uh, yeah, we ran into issues. There it was there was different issues with that. It was like we had this deal, um, amazing like a bird dog. Diane brought this to us, and she's
Uh-huh.
freaking incredible.
Yep.
And Ingrid Hernandez introduced me to her, and
Yep.
so we got this deal, and it was good learning lessons. Like we were partnered. I have partners that I'm working these deals with, especially with everything that I have going on. Like I am okay having partners on this, especially like I would never want to run a park by myself.
Yeah.
And so we have partners, and I partnered up with somebody that we didn't have an agreement in place, and so it stinks. Still on good terms with the person, but we ended up not seeing eye to eye in terms of partnership and responsibilities and role.
Yeah.
And so we, me and my team now who like own that park stepped out of that deal,
Right.
and I finished financial due diligence. I knew the park was good, but we ended up just couldn't. It was a good learning lesson to like make sure you have these things in place and ahead of time. You just never know, because when you're in it, you're like, let's just underwrite parks together, and we'll figure it out when we get one. We'll
Yeah.
cross that bridge,
Yeah.
and it's tough. So we had to walk away, and then the deal ended up falling out and getting canceled, and then the we jumped back on. We were like, okay, cool, because Diane was just on with this broker and did such a great
Yeah.
job. And then these locals in the in Nevada City were
Uh-huh.
like, oh, we want to buy this park. And so we were like, crap. And like we were like, all right, well, maybe we'll be back up, but actually I'm like, I hope they get it. I hope there's a local, but well, they
Right.
couldn't come through. They didn't come through either. And
Yeah.
so we jumped in and we are like, hey, I already did financial due diligence. Physical due diligence was done, but we wanted to do a bit more.
Uh-huh.
Uh, if we say we can come in and do a 15-day close, right, which isn't crazy for a park, an RV park, right? Because we usually want to do anywhere between 45 to 60-day due diligence
Yeah.
with a 10-day close. So
Yeah.
you're looking at 55 to 60 or 70 days, and we were doing it in 15. Now, we wouldn't have done it if I didn't already do financial due diligence and I knew everything checked out and
Right.
physical checked out, but we had a couple more things to do. It was a wild ride. Like we ended up closing that, but it was crazy because the broker was like overseas, and so it was like late at night. We were talking with him and connecting with him and getting these things rolling, and it was such a roller coaster at the end. But
Oh my gosh.
it ended up all coming together, and yeah, that was a different journey for that.
That's crazy, but awesome that you guys got it closed. 15 days is racing on an asset of that size. That's hustling. But you guys got it done. And it's interesting with any deal, right? There's always things that you run into. It's going to be different for everyone, but you're always not, I don't think any deal has ever gone 100% smooth. But you guys got it figured out. The biggest thing I think that you said in there that I took from that story is the have the difficult conversations up front lay out the expectations and all of that kind of stuff in advance so that everybody's on the same page, so you don't end up putting in all this work and effort and getting down the road and then finding out that everybody kind of has a different view on how things should function, and then you have to go your separate ways. So having those tough conversations up front saves you a lot of difficulty on the back end, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually the biggest thing that I learned because I learned like I did this the Enneagram
Mhm.
test,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like I'm a one, which they
Okay.
say like perfectionist, but I'm a peacemaker, like the wing. And so like I don't like conflict on
Yeah.
things, right? So but I've learned in this last year from learning from the people that are around me and how they attack things, like not attack but like they go head on after
Right.
problems. So I have really strong people around me that do that I've learned from.
Mhm.
And so I've taken a lot from that. And you're right, like there's actually no easier time to do that conversation than in the front end. Even if it's hard, the longer you wait, it's actually much, much worse to do that. It's like just attack it head on, just go in and actually I've learned a lot from that, just being able to go and have those and from that experience what we ended up doing with the partners that I have on this park and on the West Texas park, like we want to continue to build and we want to buy two more this year. But
Uh-huh.
we had it was 6 hours of Zoom conversations going through every single thing on the operating agreement
Yeah.
and talking about, I mean, like if there's death, if there's somebody that wants to walk away, what happens? If
Yep.
somebody doesn't want to walk away, but they're not holding their end, what happens, like how do you objectively kind of say like, hey, you're not doing what you say you're going to do. That
Yeah.
it's tough, but you when everybody's it's the best thing to do is do it up front.
Mhm.
And we spent 6 hours ironing that out, and I feel really good about it. And we even had like the cadence, let's revisit this, because the last thing I want is for us to any resentment, but for us to just not feel like we're aligned in the fact that we're buying these parks, we're going after and attacking it. Remember what our conversations were in the beginning, like remind why we're doing this and how we structured this, why we structured it. And so like that was a big thing that to me I feel has helped so far with the partnership that we have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's the partnership prenup, right? Like you got to get everything out on the table and spell it all out and go through all the worst case scenarios so that if, I mean, doesn't mean something's going to happen, but if, like you said, somebody decides they just don't fit, they want to walk away, life changes, whatever, life, something happens, that's all been spelled out and you don't have to worry about it in the moment when, emotions might be running high or whatever else. It's good to get that out of the way when everybody's calm, cool, and collected and can agree on something up front. And man, it just saves a world of hurt down the road because you have it in writing, you have it spelled out. And I love that you guys go back and revisit it and retouch on it and refer to it. And this is why we did this. Remember, this is what we've got. That's just fantastic advice for anybody getting into a partnership.
Yeah, and I think it comes from so in my short-term rental management company that we had and that I ended up selling in the end of December
Mhm.
last year, really good friend, like really good buddy of mine. We actually worked the W-2 together and we ended up he got into investing first and he was trying to get me into it. I'm like, eh. And it was during like 2020 pandemic, like
Yeah.
market was looking really good. He still has his house in the Disney in Orlando market, like 3% interest. And so he's trying to get me into it. I kind of didn't. He brought me to a STR conference in Nashville, and I freaking loved the people that I was connecting with. I'm like, holy crap, everybody's here is hungry. Like they're helping each other out. I'm like, this is freaking cool. I've never been a part of something like this. I didn't even think it was a thing because I'm
Yeah.
just in my W-2 corporate world, just going through and climbing the ladder and figuring that out. But I didn't think about this, and I've always had this itch to on the entrepreneur side. But when I met these people, I'm like, this is amazing.
Hmm.
But anyways, I partnered with him, and towards the end, it got tough, and I learned from that partnership. I'm still good friends with him. Our kids hang and everything, but
Yeah.
there's still like it was really tough towards the end of that. And I think when you go through those, that's where it leads to like you don't even think when you're in the beginning that you need to revisit an operating agreement. Like that is not fun to go back and revisit, but it's like you
Yeah.
can foresee if you don't continue to bring everybody back to baseline of like, remember why we're doing this. Remember
Right.
how we started, why we like every people grow and change and things. And so it's like, how can I, and it's okay if they do, but like at least we can kind of come together and not forget like why we started and how we started. And I think that just comes from when you have experiences of partnerships in the past that you're like, all right, I want to make sure this one is how do we set it up for success?
Right. Okay. Good stuff. So the partnership that you have now that you did everything up front with, you guys are following up, you're solid, you're looking to buy a couple more parks this year. What are you looking for?
So we are 50 sites or more,
Mhm.
anywhere in the US. We'll buy anywhere in the US. And uh, in the, I guess, what is it, lower 48? That's
Sure.
where
Yeah.
we're, yeah. So, but we'll buy anywhere and 50 sites or more.
Okay.
And we're looking for, at least from the get-go, like anything that's top line revenue, 300,000 or
Mhm.
more top
Okay.
line. And then, um, so NOI of like 150 or more. And so that's what we're looking for. 50 pads on the same side in like mobile home parks. Um, and and then there's value add, like we want value add opportunity, we want creative opportunities. And so it's kind of simple. We have a very big like broad view of like where what we want to get, but I think it's most of our deals right now come from people that are orbiting or bird dogs or like people sending us deals, which
Yeah.
is great. And so that's what we're actively going after right now.
Okay. That's awesome. If there is somebody out there that would be interested in orbiting or has a deal that they think you might be interested in, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
So actually email deals at overlandparkscollective.com. DEALS at overlandparkscollective.com.
Is that Overland like Overland
Yeah.
parks.com?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll put that in the description as well so people can find you. Email those in, and then are you accepting more orbiters or just looking for people to send you deals at this point?
Yeah, we're accepting more orbiters for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll run through. We have some videos, some training, and we have some guides that'll help as well to kind of help you navigate. And then absolutely, yeah, we're always and you could still reach out the same way, or you can reach out on Instagram directly to me at Bobby Souza. And yeah, we're always looking for more.
Awesome. That's perfect. So, guys, if you're watching this, if you have an RV park that fits the criteria, or if you want to learn more about RV parks, or if you're in the Arizona area and you want to work on a wholesaling team, are you open to people working on your wholesaling team or bringing you at least bringing you deals in Arizona?
Yes.
um,
Yes.
reach out to Bobby, connect with him. I'm sure that they'd be happy to move your deals, help you with the deal, anything else like that. So reach out and connect. And Bobby, it's been great talking with you tonight. Really appreciate you jumping on here. This has been really, really fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, awesome. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of the Flailing Forward podcast. Remember, get out there, take the action. You may feel like you're flailing, but it's still moving you forward. We'll catch you on the next one.